Howdy folks, welcome to episode 82. We're going to put our water in here, and I think I've got it to where it's gonna actually put water in. I lined it up. It was funny because as soon as I stopped recording, I like dropped one and of course it immediately lined up. So let's go like this. Every time. All right, so let's go check out and see what it's doing here. Yeah, you can see it flips. It flips real quick. You may or may not get that on because of the frames or whatever, but see our temperature's going up, our boiler pressure's going up. Awesome. So I went and I looked. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this off camera so I don't bore you guys doing it. But I looked and yeah. See, I knew we had a brake on. I'm like, there's no way. It's dragging too much. So I checked all of the brakes again, and that one was on. So it looks like the water's going to fill. So I'm going to let the water fill here for a minute while we check out what else we have to do. So let's go look here. So we need to back this up. Do we have... Yeah, that one's already switched. We need to back this up. We need to load up all of our cattle into the cattle cars, and then we need to go this way. Is it this way? Because we're going to go through here. We're going to go past here, making sure these switches are... And then the meat packing plant. Let's go check out the meat packing plant, because I want... Meat packing? The meat placking. So we're going to drop off cattle here. And then we're going to drop off coal here. And that's going to be on the south side. So we want that switch to go that way. Okay, and then that switch we're going to put like that just so that we don't have... whatchamacallit. And if I remember correctly, we dropped off the... We already dropped off the coal. Because I think that's all we needed was the 50. And we dropped it off because it was in one of the gondolas that's right next to that. And then we just have the meat output here. Okay. Cool. Let's go back and see how our... Please tell me I put a... Did I put... Yeah, I did put a telegraph. There we go. All right. So let's see how this is doing. Yeah, we're halfway full. I think that's pretty close. We're gonna be satisfied with that. And let's go like that. No? Can we? You see, how are we doing on fuel too? We're halfway on fuel. Let's throw some fuel in here too. While we're doing that. There we go, and one more. I should add in the whatchamacallits. Okay, so we are good to go. Let's jump in here. We're gonna try, let's see, will this... Aha, it does turn it off. Okay. It doesn't turn it off, it just leaves it on. That's awesome. Alright, let's go like this. Can we? There we go. We're going to turn it off. Just for, you know, for funsies. All right. I probably should save the game here. Shouldn't I? If I'm smart. Save the game. Season 8, episode 82 and a half. There. I put the 0 because otherwise the save games come first, and then you have to scroll through like a billion save games to get to the one that you actually want. Okay, so let's do this. That means that we should be able to go a little bit gentler here. See if it starts moving. Not moving yet. Not moving. Did we just compact everything? I think we did. Okay. Let's go like this. We're going to come forward a little bit. You see how it's pulling every little car one at a time? Okay. And then we're going to do the reverser. And we're going to kind of clunk them. Hopefully that'll... There we go. That'll get things moving. There we go. All right, it's moving now. Much better. Much better. Because that way your impulse only goes through one car instead of this car pushing that car. Trying to push a necklace around a corner. All right. See if we can get this to... It looks like it's going to go. That's awesome. Let's see. Let me turn this down a little bit on these. There we go. I think we're going to... I know I do this every time, right? That's how I make it derail. Tempting Murphy. That's what I call it. Tempting Murphy. Ah. Speaking of, I finished off all my tea, too. All right. So that should get us... Let's see. Oh, and then we have to take the meat. Where do we take the meat? Do we take it to the freight depot? I think we take it to the... Yeah, we do have to take the meat to the freight depot. So it's 4 things, not 3, right? Are those doors supposed to be open like that? Are those... No, I think it's just that they're too far away. They're just too far away, and they're... What was it, Doom that would do that? The doors and stuff on Doom were like... You couldn't have too many of them showing in the map. Maybe it was Quake. But... Yeah. When you had you had the stuff that could move, the sectors, the doors were a sector, I think, of its own that could move. And then when you couldn't put like a whole bunch of them within visibility of each other. Wow, those plants are disappearing too. But yeah, you couldn't put a whole bunch of them within, like you couldn't put a hallway with a whole bunch of doors in it, row one after the other, so that you could see through them all, because it would like freak out. Because it was trying to decide how much to render or whatever it was. I think what it was that it would render whatever was behind the door, whether or not the door was open. So if you had a door, I don't remember. I think that's what it was. I know in Quake it was like that, because you'd make the level and you put the lights in, and then you'd do a viz, which would take like maybe a day or two. It would take forever, man. You'd run and I think you had to run it in a DOS box, like just you basically you had to have a dedicated machine to shut it down or whatever to run it. I don't remember if you could do viz in Windows or not while your rest of your computer was working, but that was before they had multi-cores and everything. But yeah, you run a viz, and what it would do is it would basically go through like all the locations in the map and decide what you can see from that location and put in all the lighting and stuff. And the doors were just always open on that. So if you had light, I think if you had light on one side of a door, it would just be lit through the door. Because it was too much at the time. It was too much to calculate the lighting with the door open and with the door closed. There was nothing even close to dynamic lighting. I mean, Quake 2 was like a big deal for them, where it's like, we have colored lighting now. And then Unreal came out, and it had colored lighting, but it ran at about like 2 frames a second on a Pentium, the first generation Pentium. Maybe it was the second generation, but no, I think it was the first. It was the first generation. So I had a Celeron that you could overclock. That was awesome. You could overclock the Celerons way more the cheap. You buy the cheap GPU and you could like double the clock on it. I think it was back when Pentiums were running at like 200 megahertz or something, and I had a Celeron that ran at like 450 megahertz. But you needed that back then because there weren't any, well, there weren't really many graphics accelerators. Okay, so we got to do, yeah, we got to get this all the way past the thing, and then we're going to put our cows on. We're going to load on our cows. But we need to get this past the switch. We need to get our head past the switch here. We're doing okay. While I regale you with stories of old PCs and stuff. Okay. Well, it's funny too, because when they came out with Quake 2 and they didn't have all the levels, I think, oh no, that was 3 that they just completely eliminated single player. But yeah, in Quake 2 it was like the developers got mad because people were like recreating Quake in Quake 2, or maybe it was Quake 2 and Quake 3, whatever it was, but they were mad about it. I thought it was kind of funny that they were mad about it. It wasn't funny that people were doing that. It's like, whatever, you know. I never got it seems to be a common thing where like people think because they made a game they get to control how everybody enjoys it. It's now my sacred right to decide how you are allowed to enjoy the game that, you know. I guess that, yeah. Let's see, which ones are the stock cars? Is that these? I think it's these, right? Or is that the meat? These are the stock cars. No, those are the box cars. These are the stock cars. Okay. So it's these. All right, these are the ones that we need to load the cows up into. So we're going to go forward. You thought you were watching Railroads Online, but really it was just old person talking about old-time games. Old-timey games. All right. We'll get this going. It's funny. I saw something about somebody was talking about like how modern RPGs, like it makes me glad that I don't play RPGs anymore. But they were talking about how like modern RPGs like hold your hand and like you basically tell you everything you need to do next, and it's like that sucks. Why do I need to be there? Isn't that like 99% of the joy of a role-playing game is you deciding what you're going to do next and trying to figure it out and puzzling out what's going on and all that stuff, as opposed to you know, as opposed to somebody just telling you everything to do. Why even play? I don't understand that. Okay. But they were talking about how old games, you know, they'd let you get lost, and that's fine. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I played some. I don't remember if it was the first Metroid or not, but I know it was on the NES, the 8-bit NES, the first NES. And I played some Metroid game, and I got to a point where I knew where everything was on the map, but there was nothing new. There must have been a key or a door that I missed somewhere. But I mean, I spent hours running back and forth, and I finally gave up. I never finished the game. But I spent hours running back and forth trying to find whatever it was, whatever secret I had missed. I missed something and never did find it. So I'm going to try to load up 2 cars at a time so we don't have to cheat too much on the cows here. We'll see if we can get that to happen. Maybe. I mean, I could drop off the water car. I could drop off everything except these cars, and then, but where's the fun in that, right? There we go. So we're going to go until this one hits these cows, and then we'll start loading. And we'll load 2 cars, and then we'll move forward a car, and then we'll load 2 cars again. Because I want to try to not get completely ruined on the outputs. And I don't even remember how many of these show. It would be really nice if there was a list of what it could hold. That would be pretty cool. Almost there. We got this car, and then... And it would be cool if you could open the doors on these from here. That would be really nice of them to do that. Tell me these are going to be lined up. I don't care if it's true, just tell me, right? I'll find out soon enough if it's true. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna load these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There we go. All right. So, and I assume these are gonna stop unloading when the cows are in. Let's see. I can't imagine the cows are just gonna start walking off, right? Okay, cool. Nice. And that will let the that will let us like not screw this up if we can do it like that. Come on, you can do it. There we go. These cars are really challenged. All right. So we need to start hitting the brakes like back here because we got that much slack to take up. See? Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There they go. All right. All right. Did it do it? What? How are they uneven? How is that one 10 and this one is 14? It still screwed me over. What? Okay. And you know, I posted on the I posted that as a bug on the discussion forum, and somebody replied that apparently it's actually that was intentional. Really? What did we just hit? Did we hit a switch or something? I'll bet it was a switch. Did you see that? How everything just kind of jerked? Stop for a second here. Let's jump out here and see what's going on. Let's see what's going on here, because something... I'm guessing it hit the... See, this one's trying to go the other way or something. This car right here, look at it. What did it hit? No, it is on the wheels, right? It is on the track. Is it on the track? It's on the track. So why did it act like that? That was weird. Okay, we're gonna back up just a little bit. I swear it's just the switches every once in a while glitch. Okay. We're going to back out, or back up here. Let's try going forward just a little bit. No. That one doesn't want to go over the switch. Okay, we're going to stop. We're going to try going backwards just a little bit. There we go. So we're going to bring this back past the switch, I think. I'm not sure what would it even be hitting. Why that one specifically? Because the one before it didn't hit anything, right? We'll just try this. We'll try this again. See if we can get it to go forward. Make sure we don't have stuff moving over here. Okay, it's all stopped. All stop. Alright, let's try going forward again. See what happens here. I just don't want to hit it so hard that it bounces off the track or whatever. See, and watch when this wheel hits the change. Nope, I think it's good now. Alright. I think we're good. Whatever it was doing, it stopped. So when we hit about the 1 is when we need to hit the brakes here. I like their little tails coming out through the thing, too. Okay. I don't know what it did on this. So this is back up to 20. Let's see. And that one's at 6. And that one's at 14. I don't understand why. Let's check out the map. What do we have as far as we are out of the water? Okay, so it can't make more water. So we're going to have to add more water, I guess. Okay. That's fine. I can do that. And I think we only have one more car to go. There we go. We just got to keep an eye out. It's on the switch. Sometimes the switch freaks out. Yeah, I think this is the last car anyway. Okay. And then we've got an odd one. Yeah, because we have 9 cars, so that's fine. Go a little bit more. We're going to stop right about here. And we'll hit the brakes in just a second. I think it's going to stop anyway. All right. So we're going to go. There we go. Okay. So that'll leave 8 there. And this will leave none here. Let's see what we got out of 11 and 18. It sure seems like... Oh, you know what? We did load up the other cars fully. So maybe that was all of them. Okay, so we just need to bring up this car to that front one. Okay. See if we can get it to go. See if we can get it past there. I like how we just spend the entire episode loading up a couple cars. I'm sure that's actually a realistic thing, too. I mean, you know, it's not like they just, here, load up the whole train at one time. I'm sure they have to do all that stuff. Okay. Let's try 5%. There we go. We just want to keep it running. We don't want to make it go fast. This one. This is the one we want. Okay. And that's, yeah, that's just the token cow or whatever you call it. There's probably a term for that. Why is it getting dark already? Is it me? Is that sunset or is it... Man, it looks like tonight. I went flying tonight and it was like this. It was kind of overcast. But it was overcast above where I was flying at. And then there were like little wispy clouds about 500 feet above where I was flying. But they weren't enough to, like, if I did end up in them, that I wouldn't be able to see or anything like that. They were like just this tiny little mist. Almost looked like a curtain. They were super thin and see-through. But it was really cool. It was just a neat effect. A little bit more. I should probably get some flying videos in sometime. in case anybody enjoys those. We get this last one. That means we'll actually have 2 cows left over, won't we? Apparently we didn't get enough cars. Because that has 8. Yeah, it's got to be. Well, I know we brought more water and stuff than okay, so let's go like this. We should be able to get those loaded on before the car goes past. There we go. All right. So we have 54. Yeah, because I think we only needed 50. Okay, let's go like... I can't even see. There it is. Okay, there's the front of the train. Let's see. Let's go like this. There. Let's go. There we go. I'm kind of scared to do this at this like this, because I'm going to end up pulling a car off the track or something. You know? Something's going to stick here like it did before, like that one did. And then we're going to end up pulling a car off the track. Let's go like this. See what we can see from up there. Man, that is a long way. There we go. All right. I mean, this is fairly straight, so we should be able to just pull. And I think this is mostly a straight shot all the way to the meat thing. Is it? For the most part, yeah. I'm not sure that we'll be able to get there in time. We'll go to the meat thingy. All right, we're gonna keep an eye on this. There we go. Much better. Bye-bye, cows. So whaley moo. All right. 12. Looks like we're gonna top out at 12. And we know we don't have any brakes on, so there's that. See if the... There we go. Is that because I... No, it's not because I did the reverser. Okay. I'm guessing if I change the reverser at all, it's just going to slow us down. Yeah, it's already slowing down there. Okay. Okay. We're just going to go like this and hope it doesn't derail. It's speeding up. There must be like the slightest of downhill. We got a tailwind. Those always make me nervous. It always looks like it's in the track, doesn't it, from here? It's like, I can't tell. Nice. Let's go back this way. Oh, that is cool. I like that. That looks cool. I'm liking the long trains. I forgot, because you know you get the short ones going and it's you basically can drive like an idiot. And so it's fun in that way. But it's not as satisfying, you know, when you pull 4 cars or whatever, it's like, okay, it's easy, but it's not this. It's fun to see all the huge long train go. Okay, let's go like this. We'll go back to the front again. See which way we're going here. I think we're going down this one. Should be fine. There's like a 10% chance that this whole thing is just going to disaster here. That something's going to catch on that switch, and the whole thing is just going to pile up. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's because you're back here and the stuff isn't loaded in. You know? The chunks aren't loaded, kind of thing. The switch isn't loaded in, and so it's just like, I don't know what to drive on. No. I don't think it's that. Okay, cool. Let's check out what we got here. We don't have any bad three-way switches. We already checked all these. I'm glad we don't have any of that. Remember that one where you go over the sand, a little bit of sand? I'm glad we're not doing that with this. That would not make it. That definitely would not survive that. That's one thing where you can get away with it with this small train with like 4 cars. Alright, let's go back here to watch the switch. Okay. I think we're good. Looks like we're good. Cool. And then... this is it, isn't it? This is the meat? Yeah, this is the meat factory. Cool. And I'm not going to unload all this, so that's going to be it for episode 82. Join me in episode 83. We will, yeah, we'll get all this unloaded. And, I think it's just the cows. So yeah, we'll get all the cows unloaded, and then we'll see what we got as far as the meat. So join me in episode 83, and we'll see you then. Later.